Hello, Professor, classmates. My name is Alicia Stevenson, and I chose Sunset Memorial Park, that is located in Beckley, West Virginia, as my cemetery that I visited and made some observations. So, some of the observations that I made um, were about the location. Um, so it serves the Raleigh County area of southern West Virginia, and it's located off the interstate with a main road entrance. It's located near a hospital and a few minutes away from a funeral home on the same stretch of road. Um, Despite being in a more city area, it is a peaceful setting. It has several acres of land. There's a nice pond and trees for shade, and nice paved and gravel roadways around to different parts of the cemetery. Also, most of the graves were um, more modern, but the earliest graves were from the early 1900s. So, based on some of the things that I saw, um, you could tell that this society has a healthy amount of respect for those that have died, because they're well manicured lawns, there are flowers on many of the graves, and the roads are maintained. And you can tell that there are visitors frequently to the cemetery. Um, all of the graves seem to have markers, to me indicating that having a headstone was an important part of a proper burial, and that's something that is valued. Some of the graves were more elaborate and indicate that the families were more well off, but each grave had a marker, whether that was a plate marker, a headstone, or even a statue of some sort. Um, a lot of the headstones reflect Christian themes. Um, and so you saw a lot of crosses and angels and scriptures and things like that. And so it indicates that this is a predominantly Christian area, which is very common for West Virginia as a whole. Um, so as far as the religious themed headstones, many of them had Christian markings, crosses, um, themes, expressed in different writings. And one of those you can see here, it says she has crossed the troubled river. So that is kind of a very Christian theme thing, with the crossing the Jordan is kind of used to indicate um, death and going over into eternity. Here you can see that there are other headstones that have crosses or religious themes, or that just um, that we'll see them again, that kind of theme. Um, And another interesting theme with the religious theme is these children's headstones. These were really popular, it seemed to be, from like the 1930s to 1960s. And there are little lambs for these babies and children that have passed away. There's also military markers that were common. Some just depicted their service, and others depicted that they were a part of a major war, like World War II or something of that nature. There were varying levels of quality indicating economic status. You can see here that there are some that are just a plate on the grave, and then there are others that are a mausoleum with families inside, and then you have some larger headstones, and then you have some smaller ones as well. And so basically, I used the website from the park and I used my photographs, and most of this is just my work. But thank you for your time and have a great day.